Hi there. In this video, we'll be covering how to write a book with no experience. It's possible to write an awesome book with little to no book writing experience, but you need to follow these tips. By the end of this video, you will learn how to unlock your book's message, the importance of book foundation work, and some tips to help you make consistent progress. And stay tuned until the end of the video for a free opportunity. Let's dive in. You can do this. You really can. It's possible to write a book. It's possible to write a great book. You know, I think about so many of the pursuits that I've followed in my life, so many of the things that we do that you probably weren't good at right away. It takes time to be good at these things. And book writing is one of those things. You don't want to just rush through it and put out a book and publish it, because if you do those things, it's probably not going to be great. Even if you're an avid reader, you know, you really need to understand how to put the book together, what you want it to say, and how to say it in the most powerful way possible. At the beginning of your book journey, you need to figure out what you want to say. What do you want to say with your book? What message do you want to share? By figuring out what message you want to share, you're going to then figure out what you want to include in the book. I recently worked with a woman named Molly who had a story about overcoming personal obstacles and this undercurrent of dancing. You know, she's a dancer and she likes dancing. Initially, the book was really focused on the dancing and her journey in dancing. And over time, we recognized that the book was really about her journey forward, her journey to, you know, being her best self and overcoming these challenges. That dancing was the lens through which she saw this progress. You know, so it was really powerful to unlock that. Without unlocking that message, without really figuring that out, you know, the book was struggling. You know, it took us some time to map that out. You know, we ended up working together over the course of 3 or 4 months, and she had done so much writing and made so much progress, you know, and I was able to come in and just kind of clean things up and move things around and shape things up and, you know, let's include this, let's take this out. By doing that, we then had a very coherent message and story. So it really is huge to be able to figure out your message. If you can figure out your message, you can then figure out what should be included and excluded from your book. The message of your book also ties into the purpose. You know, maybe you want to start offering high-level coaching services, and you want to be thought of as a thought leader in this space to be able to offer these coaching services. I think it's awesome to be able to see the book as an opportunity for bigger things or for other things. It doesn't always need to be money. It could be, you know, thought leadership. It could be speaking engagements. It could be just a chance to share your message with your family. At the end of the day, you really need to figure out the why behind it and figure out the most important message that you can share. Then from there, you can start building out the foundation of the book, figuring out, you know, the takeaway, the reader takeaway, and figuring out the most powerful way to structure the book. So many books struggle, especially from less experienced book writers, because they don't actually understand who the reader is and what the benefit is for them. You know, people will just include a series of stories about themselves in the book without any real structure or aim or framework or thread. And it's up for the reader to figure out how these stories fit together or benefit them. There shouldn't be any questions about that. It should be very clear from the opening of the book on forward who the book is for and what the benefit is for them. And they need to be able to see that, see themselves reflected in the pages, to be able to carry forward in the most powerful way possible. That's not to say that they always need to, you know, connect 100% with the story's themes and messages. When you're writing a book, you need to keep the reader in mind. It's so important to keep the reader in mind when you're writing a book. Even if the writing process is for us, and I do think there's a personal element at play, the reader benefit is for somebody else. The audience is somebody else. You know, this is about taking this idea and putting it out in the world, and you need to be able to arrange it and organize it and structure it and explain it in a way that's going to be digestible to the reader. And once you do all this deep work, this internal work, and figure out the structure and the framework and the message of your story, you eventually need to get down to the writing. And the writing isn't easy. The writing is hard. And this is why a lot of people give up with writing their book, because writing a book is hard. Once you've done all of this planning to get to this phase, yes, that part's hard, but the writing part's hard too. So it's not like this is the let up. It doesn't get easier. Even when you're writing a book, it does remain challenging enough where you could shift and adjust the book as you're going on when you realize something doesn't work. Now, I was working on a project recently, and the author and I had made lots and lots of progress. And we wrote ourselves into a corner with a chapter. And then we had to restructure a couple sections to really figure it all out. Like even after working together for 6-12 months, we were still stuck in a certain spot and we had to make changes. So this is a fluid thing, but the writing process can be difficult. And it's really about making steady, consistent progress. You know, scheduling writing time for yourself. Put it in your calendar, block it out. You know, Tuesdays at 2 p.m., I'm gonna write for an hour. It's great to be able to set that time for yourself. Whether it's the weekend, whether it's at night, set some time. Take some time for yourself to do some writing. I love when I'm working on a project to take stock and keep track of the writing progress I make by word count and by chapters and looking at the chapters coming together. You know, and then seeing, oh, I'm up to 70,000 words, I'm up to 75,000 words, I'm up to 77,000 words. It's awesome to see that because you can track the progress and celebrate the wins. And the wins are getting a chapter done. The wins are doing another week of great work. The wins are continuing forward. You know, the wins need to keep happening for you to stay fulfilled and engaged in the writing process. A lot of times, even with the best intentions, writers get stuck. You know, authors get too busy, they get sidetracked, they get lost in the book, they can't make progress, they lose confidence in it. It's really valuable to be able to keep an open mind as to seeking help when you need it from a professional book writer, book coach, or ghostwriter. These roles are so important in helping projects across the finish line. I myself have ghostwritten about 30 books over the last 5 years, so that's 6 books a year for 5 years. That's 30 different stories that someone else couldn't finish or struggled to finish. That's 30 different stories that may not have gotten finished otherwise. It's so powerful to be able to carry these stories forward and to help people get their messages told, to help them take the next step in their journeys. It's awesome to be able to do that. You know, these people are available to help you. Ghostwriters and coaches are out there, and they're happy to help you along your way. You may think that writing a book is a lonely process and that you're just in it alone, but it doesn't need to be. It can be very collaborative, and it could be very coordinated and team-oriented. The right coach or ghostwriter can help you take your story to the next level, can help guide you forward, and give you the confidence that your book is being told in the best way possible. It's awesome to be able to help authors on their journey. I wouldn't trade it for anything. You know, it's been awesome to be able to see the relief in my clients' faces when I see them holding their book for the first time. The relief in their eyes when they talk to me about what it felt like to finish their draft. The relief of this burden that they've been carrying for years and years finally gone. I love that. I love how happy they are and relieved they are to be able to cross this off their bucket list, to take the next step in their journey. And there are people out there who can help you in similar ways. And I want you to keep an open mind to that. You know, you may think, I want to just write this book all by myself, but you don't have to. There are other people out there to help you along the way, and you know, keep an open mind as to receiving their help. If you want to learn more about how to write a book with no experience, I have the perfect course for you. It's called Good Book Blueprint. Just head to goodbookblueprint.com. You can click the link below. It's a course I recorded with a friend and collaborator of mine named Nate Woodbury. He is a YouTube producer, and it's awesome because it's just me and Nate talking back and forth about the book writing process and the book production process and the book publishing process. I know how scary and daunting this whole topic can be, and you know, I think given your perspective and given your insight, I think just understanding some of the basics, some of the terminology, and what this path forward looks like for you could be really beneficial. I'd love for you to check it out. It's completely free. Just go sign up and take the course. Remember, a good book can change your life. I'm Dan Good. Thanks for watching.